I'm going to go way out. You're never going to guess who I'm going to say right now.
Bowmore?
Crown Royal.
No, I never would have guessed that.
In the Super Social Club, I'm Jeremy.
This is Whiskey in the Six, I'm Rob.
Welcome to the Whisky Rant Podcast.
It's a little crusty,
It's frustrating.
and it's going to be a little bit of a rant.
I don't understand it. I don't know why.
Some sort of injustice.
Anyway, end rant.
Hello and welcome back to the Whisky Rant Podcast. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Rob.
And tonight we are treating ourselves yet again. I mean, we just keep doing it, but why not? Springbank, 28-year-old, the newest of the Springbank Society releases.
Can fit your whole hand. You can almost conceal this. You can maybe this, if you were at a sporting event, you could probably
you're
pretend
right.
like this is like a Coke or something.
You could slip that in past security.
100%.
200 milliliter bottle. That's kind of the topic of tonight's show. The new normal. I hate that term. That's the one thing that I hated. Everything is like the new normal now.
Yeah.
This seems like it's we're trending that way. There's lots of examples of bottles doing little releases for make sure there's enough for everyone kind of thing. I think,
so I think they're onto something, and I know you're probably gonna hate me for saying this, and maybe a lot of people will. But how many times has there been bottles that we missed out on that we just wanted to try? Mm-hmm. We just wanted to try it.
Yeah.
We didn't want to collect it. We didn't want to stash it. We didn't want to whatever.
Yeah.
We just wanted to taste it.
Yeah.
And we couldn't because people snatched it up, put it in their locker. Mm-hmm. You never saw a review on it. You never heard about it. You don't know what it tastes like. It could be piss for all we know, and no one will ever know. It's thousands of dollars. Here's Springbank Society release 28, and there's 2,966 bottles.
Right.
Of a 28-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
I think fairly priced at around like $200 and something. What was it?
What did we pay? $230?
$230
Canadian.
Got them from KWM because we're Society members. 200
ml bottle. Yeah.
Andrew did an excellent job, as he always does, of making sure everybody gets at least one if they want it.
Yeah.
And then whatever, right? I didn't hear of anybody that was a Society member that didn't get a chance at this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And lots of Society members that have missed out on previous releases. I mean, the hot take, I guess, is that, it's good and it's bad.
Yeah.
I think at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right?
It's scary because it's like, damn, now we used to pay for something like this. And this is not a trick of the camera here. This is just a very significant difference in size. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
I don't mind if they went to a 200 ml bottle, especially for this. Being
Right.
28 years old, you're not going to have too much of it.
Right.
You get almost 3,000 of these little 200 mls to share around. This covers, the North American Society member market or something? We don't really know how many members there are.
Right, I have no idea. That's a good question. I wonder if they actually have that documented somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I wonder if this covered North America.
Maybe.
As far as all the members are here concerned. We don't really know, because it's kind of region specific of what you get for Society bottlings, right?
Well, we know it was in Scotland because a friend of ours actually sourced his from Scotland.
Okay.
Right, so
global, maybe?
I don't know. I
don't
know for sure, but I'm guessing Scotland and then at least North America.
I'm guessing that the Springbank Society has more than 2,900 members.
That's also a good point.
I would think, right?
You would think so. Perhaps.
Maybe they don't.
Well, excuse my back, but here's the 8-year-old, and there's 1,830 bottles, and this wasn't easy to get.
Yeah.
That was not easy to get at all. Mm-hmm. So, I wonder. I probably shouldn't have kept talking as I walked away from the mic, but this is. In case anybody's wondering why I kept the cork off, I wanted it to open up. We're not going to have this for a long time, right? So we want to have it at its best as soon as possible.
A good friend of the channel messaged me on Instagram. He got one of these, and he was like, "What do I do with it? Do I, pour a little bit, savor it, or I just crack it open one night and just take the whole thing down with
Kevin?
With someone else?" No, a good friend of out in Manitoba.
Okay, cool.
Manitoba Santa. You know this guy?
Maybe not.
Anyway, here's his Instagram. I'll put it up.
So I don't know. I think now here's the thing. if Blanton starts doing this shit with their regular release, and then like people are like hoarding those little 200
grenades.
ml bottles, I'd be like,
Yeah.
no, this is not for you.
Right.
This is not. This is like a special release, like limited to less than 5,000 bottles only, and we only got 2,200 or whatever bottle. Technically, it would have been less than half than that,
Yeah.
right? It would have been way less than half. It would, you know, do the math really quick. Like we would have got less than half of the 2,966 bottles,
Yeah.
right? And then you're gonna have people scrambling to get a bottle, fighting
Sure.
over it. It's gonna like be on secondary market instantly, and you know.
Yeah.
And that's not actually. Sorry, I think you have something to say, but I actually have a good point.
Go ahead.
The secondary market is pretty much squashed on this bottle, I think, because have you ever seen a 200 ml bottle go for astronomical prices over
No.
retail? I think that's a good thing. I think that's maybe where we'll see less of that. Like, this is not a collectible little bottle. Like, it doesn't really look collectible. You're not gonna keep this on your bar next to all your other bottles.
I mean, people do collect minis, but they don't ever get drank. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't really see this being something that's gonna, you know, find its way onto the UK auction sites. But again, I mean, I'm sure it probably will.
Okay, I think where people will pay secondary is like, hey, I'll pay you for 30 mLs of that, right? And I'll pay you $100 for 30 mLs of that.
Right.
So like maybe guys will make their profit back that way.
Yeah.
But is it worth it? Like, it depends on how good it is.
Yeah, I mean, we see examples of distilleries and bottlers going to smaller bottles. The newest Jack Daniel's special release, the Coy Hill, you know, they had 55 barrels that were extremely high proof, like all hazmat stuff.
Yeah.
They released that in half-size bottles, 375 mLs. I don't mind it. I mean, if you're selling a hazmat bourbon that's, you know, over 70% ABV, you probably don't need a whole bottle of it.
No,
because
that's true.
You probably want to cut that with at least a little bit of water.
Yeah, you can cut that to
So-
like, yeah.
Right? So the 375 ml, that's okay, fine. Like,
Yeah, I can stomach that. I can stomach, you know, like a hazmat BTAC bottle going for that.
yeah.
You know, that's something that I think could be explored. Make BTAC into smaller bottles, and then more people will get
Buffalo
them.
Trace just cuts all their bottles in half.
All the Americans watching right now that
Yeah.
are bourbon fans are like shutting it off, like posting on Reddit right now saying,
Right.
"Don't ever watch, you know, the Whiskey Rant." But
How dare you?
yeah, exactly. But I think it would be good because then people would actually drink it. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be as hard to get.
Yeah.
People will drink it. It's not as collectible. It's not as sexy to look at a smaller bottle as like. Again, why do people collect? A, to make money. B, they like the way it looks on their bar, especially if they have a bar full of sealed bottles.
Yeah.
Right. So you're not gonna do that with a half bottle. You're not gonna do that with a 200 ml bottle. So I think they're onto something.
I don't mind it because it does get more people drinking the whiskey, and it spreads it out to, you know, people who are actually enthusiasts could maybe get a chance to actually get a bottle and try it and not, you know,
Yeah.
have to worry about secondary flippers who are just, you know, the worst people for whiskey enthusiasts ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, okay, here's an example. So this is a refill sherry distilled in 1995, bottled in November 2016. It's 20 years old. This
Springbank.
compliments of our buddy P Boss, friend of the channel, friend of the show. So that's cask strength. That's a single cask, or maybe half of a single cask, because it's only 204 bottles, right? How many of these are just sitting on people's shelves? Like, how much harder would this bottle have been to crack, knowing it's a 28-year-old Springbank
Yeah.
that's gonna fetch an absurd amount of secondary dollars if it was a 700 ml bottle?
Right.
I think it would be a much tougher crack. We would do it,
Yeah.
but it would hurt.
Yeah.
It would hurt opening like this. I was like,
Yeah, I mean, I like it. Here's the thing. right? Like we see it with other companies, like Boutique Whiskey Company.
Yep.
They do 500 ml bottlings. Elements of Isla, they do 500 ml bottlings. So we do see it in Scotch. I'm just thinking, like, are you paying a little more of a premium than you would if you like made it dollar per ml? You know,
and
$1 per milliliter, you're paying a little bit more with the smaller stuff. I think that's the only caveat. I think.
Yeah,
that it's
I think you're right.
Issue.
Yeah, that's a good point. So basically, this is 2.5. You would have to add 2.5 times.
Yeah.
So 230 for this, then you got 460, and then another 215. Okay, so you're at 675 ish.
Yeah, almost $700.
Which, for a 28-year-old, like, what's the 25 going for?
Oh yeah, crazy.
Right? It's more.
Yeah.
It's more. So actually, I think Springbank was really well priced here.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but
yeah, I mean, you're looking at like so it's like 600 milliliters. You know, so it's like 700, 750, approximately.
ish. Yeah, I think I
for
think
a full size bottle, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I think So anyway, I think you're about right there, because like the 25 is going for like $900 now.
Sure.
$1,000 depending on where you are.
Yeah,
And these are Canadian prices, obviously.
You're getting a little more ABV out of this one too. What is the ABV of this again? 48.
This is 48.2. Yeah, and the 25 is 46. Right.
Yeah.
So this may be not quite cask strength, but it's have you tried it yet?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Trying it.
I've just been nosing it. I get like a raspberry fields on the nose.
it's very fruity and it's like got lots of funky elements to it. Like it's a different funk than I've experienced before with Springbank. This is way different.
Although I will say, like, if someone gave this to me blind, I'd be like, "This is Springbank."
Yeah.
I haven't tasted it yet, but I do pick up similarities. Although this 20-year-old is so farmy compared to this,
Really?
like on the nose. I find this more
I
fruity.
get lots of tropical fruit on that 20.
Now, if this was the new projection for this Springbank Society release only, just the Society release bottles, would you be upset?
No. I don't think so. I mean, I guess it depends, right? Because like if they're releasing something at 8 years old, like make enough for everyone.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
you have, it's 8 years old.
Yeah,
right?
you're
like
gonna
this
have
one,
several.
Right?
If
it's 28 years old, okay, sure. Like I'm all in favor if you have like a rare, you know, you're doing like a small vatting with a couple casks, you have a single cask,
Yep.
you want to actually give it to the fans of your distillery, then sure, make it in smaller bottles so more people can try it.
Mm-hmm.
But something that's like an 8-year-old, like no, I want a full bottle. Like I want a full bottle still.
Yeah, I want a full bottle too. But I mean, if it means that more people will open the bottle and drink it, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with this. Like, if this means that 90% of these will be cracked as opposed to the original like 40%,
Yeah.
then I'm all for it.
I guess like one cool thing about having a big whiskey collection is that you can make a bottle last a long time. Like you can have bottles on your shelf, you know, for half a decade that you go back to on a special occasion, something like that. You know, something like this at 200 ml, it doesn't really have the same kind of feel to it. You know,
Right.
like what are you gonna do? Just take this thing halfway down and then let it sit? Like
You can. You can.
I don't know.
This is a under the shelf. Like, you don't put this out. The people that get to try this are very few and far between, because really, let's be honest, like, if it's incredible, this is your last chance at that bottle.
Yeah.
Like, you get 200 mLs. It doesn't spread very far, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost just about cracking it and taking it down in one go, you know?
Yeah, honestly, that's not a horrible idea. My only concern is this. What if the first pour is a 90? And then if you wait 2 months, the halfway pour is like a 93. And then you wait a year, and then the last pour in this bottle is like a 98.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
And like, how is this bottle opening up compared to like a full-size bottle? Is it the same like ratio, you think? Is it different?
I don't know. I feel like I
Right.
have to leave this cork off
We don't
like
know.
all night.
We've never had a 200 ml bottle of anything
It's true.
before. Like
That's a great
officially,
point.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's it is what it is, and it needs to happen, I guess.
Yeah.
And it is good, but at the same time, it's like.
Yeah, my math was completely wrong that I did earlier because I only multiplied it by 2.5. It's actually by 3.5.
3 and a bit.
3.5, yeah. So it would be 233 times and then 115.
Right.
So I apologize.
And you teach math to children.
You know what caused me to realize what I did wrong is I visualized pouring this into a larger bottle just now as we were speaking, and I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
I'm only like 1/3 of the way there, like less than 1/3 of the way there.
But like 200 mLs is a good amount. It's a good amount to like get to know the whiskey.
It's a fair amount to
right?
get to know.
It's
yeah.
okay.
Of course, in an ideal world, there'd be a 700 ml bottle of this for every society member on every release.
Sure.
What does that sacrifice? It sacrifices maybe some quality, right? Because they would have to scour their entire 28-year-old supply to make enough bottles to appease. And then what's going to happen is not every society member is willing to buy a 28-year-old Springbank.
Yeah, sure. Not everyone wants to shell out $700, $800
Right,
for
exactly.
for a bottle.
Exactly.
You know, like that's a big ask.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, I'm almost afraid to taste it.
It's good.
I can
It's
imagine.
really good. Yeah, it's different, man. This is different than any Springbank I've had before. I mean, maybe it tastes like, I don't know. I want to say it tastes maybe like those 2019, 2020, 21-year-olds, but it's got like more refinement. It's more subtle.
More subtle. Lots of sweetness. You do get like a little bit more viscosity on the palate than I would say from those 21s, and that's got to be due to the ABV. At 28 years old, who knows if they added a lot of water to this? They might have only brought it down like 3%.
I'm getting like a fruity tea kind of note that I don't think I've ever gotten in Springbank before.
Okay, so that tea note that I get on older whiskeys is very common like across Scotland.
Yeah.
And it's like once you hit that 28 and older mark is kind of when it starts to come through.
Definitely getting that. Do you want to see if this is already? Well, I guess it won't already be up in
For
auctions.
secondary?
I don't.
Oh,
think
for
so.
sure it is. It's been out. Oh, that's delicious. I just got like, I got tropical fruit on this. I'm getting like mango.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting some crazy stuff on that. Wow. And that's a first fill sherry too, right?
Oh yeah, is that what it says on there?
It doesn't say.
Oh, it is on the fucking secondary already.
What are we talking?
So it looks like there's been a bunch of them sold, ranging in price. Wait, is this the same one? It's 28 years old.
Yeah.
Ranging in price from about 260 to 280 British pounds.
Which is, I mean, again, yes, that's a lot. But if this was a 700 milliliter bottle, it would have gone like 4 times the retail price.
So this is like what, a little bit more than double retail.
Yeah, like who knows? Maybe in the UK they charge a little bit more for Springbank.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 48.2%. This is the one.
Yeah. What does it say? Is it fresh sherry or is it refill sherry? It doesn't say on the actual bottle itself.
Doesn't say.
And it doesn't say here. Because usually all the information is right on the bottle for the standard one. They ran out of room. Clearly.
Judging by the color, I would say this is probably a refill sherry.
It could be refill. This one says fresh sherry. This is the 8-year-old. All the information is there. June 2012, January 2021.
I feel like they would know, right? We'll put it up on the screen if we can find out later what exactly it is.
This
there you go.
Annihilates this 20-year-old next to it. And I really like this 20-year-old next to it.
I haven't tried the 20 yet.
But the 28 destroys it, in my opinion.
I can't believe these fuckers are already fucking selling their stuff on the secondary.
I guess we shouldn't be surprised.
We were just saying they weren't going to do it, and they just did it.
I know. I didn't think it would be, but it's not as bad as it would have been, I don't think.
Oh my goodness.
This is good too, though. This 20 is really good too.
The 8-year-old, 230 British pounds.
230? This was a steal when we bought it.
I know.
I paid secondary for a backup, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. Because it's delicious.
Oh, hold on a second. Somebody's going for 340 British pounds now.
Is there a way to list it by date? Because maybe like the newer ones.
This was an earlier auction.
Well, right off.
But same bottle.
Wow.
So in June, they're going for 340 British pounds. In July, they're going for 260, 280.
That's
so
like
dipped.
That's just basically the trend of the market right now.
Yeah.
Like how everything's kind of dropping.
Yeah.
Are we scoring this bad boy today?
Oh, I don't know about that.
And this is what I mean. Like, this is a neck pour, which is almost half a bottle. But it's not a fair assessment of this whiskey, which will get eons better, in my opinion, halfway through in a month or two. I think in a month or two, this will be ridiculously good.
Okay. I'm just looking at the bottle performance here. It looks like it's been in auction 7 times. Has this been out for 7 months?
It's been out for a while because our buddy that got it from Scotland sent that post like months ago.
Okay, look at the tracking. Look at how this bottle is done. So it went into auction 7 months ago at 310 pounds. It was average selling lot. It peaked at 520.
Wow.
520.
That's absurd.
And now it's bottomed out.
So my philosophy or my theory on it being like not as collectible and all these other things, I guess that's out the window. Unless there's people that are like paying desperately to just try it.
You can track this kind of up, this peak and dip in pretty much a lot of different Springbanks at auction. Now that we're talking about auction, let's look at our friend on Instagram who has purchased all of the Macallan Harmonies.
All of it.
All of it. We're seeing another dip on that bottle since Louis last spoke. It's dropped another 100 pounds at auction, averaging about 300 pounds now, with the peak at about over 525.
300 pounds, what's that in Canadian dollars?
It's almost double, I guess.
So it's still worth double than what it was going for retail in Canada.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just came out like what? How many months ago? Like maybe less than a year ago.
Yeah. But one, it's not selling in North America for that price.
No, because it was too accessible in North America at the time of release, so a lot of people have it.
Not too many people are paying even that much over retail for it, I don't think. I haven't seen it in groups because people got it.
Yeah.
Right? So by the time you pack up your 150 cases of this stuff that this guy has, ship it to the UK, pay the hammer fee, pay whatever else, pay the insurance it's going to cost you to take it over there, you're not coming out with money.
Mm-mm.
It's not going to be worth your time. So you have thousands of bottles of Macallan Harmony. Hope you like it.
You're loving it.
Hope you like it.
You're loving it.
Hope you like it.
Yeah, honestly, the guys like that I have no sympathy for. It doesn't matter that, you know, he spent, like, if he took out a line of credit to buy these bottles, then he's silly. Like, just silly. You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe we're wrong. Maybe in 5 years' time, like, look at the Macallan Edition 1. That thing is like on secondary for what, 4 or 5K now?
Yeah.
It's absurd.
So look it up and see.
So if it's the long-term game that this guy's trying to play, then maybe he's brilliant. But at the end of the day, it's just that kind of stockpiling is just poor taste, in my opinion.
I mean, Yeah, I mean, we don't like it because it's just, you know, it just hurts the people that want to buy whiskey to enjoy.
Yeah, exactly.
So Macallan Edition 1, most recent UK auction, averaged 1,800 pounds. So, you know, almost 4,000 Canadian dollars.
Do you regret your sale of that item there?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? It's one of those things. It's like if you sold a house in 1990, I'm sure you were like, oh, man, I should have held that house and sold it now, right?
Well, here's the thing, right? I still made 20 times what I paid for it.
Yeah,
almost
exactly.
20 times what I paid for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, it wasn't a bad decision to sell it.
Exactly.
It's like I know guys that bought Bitcoin like really early and sold it and made like $50,000, right? Like multiple times their investment.
Right. And then
they
could have held it.
They could have held it. Of course they could have, but you're making 50 grand on an investment that you put almost nothing into. I mean, you cannot be upset about that, you know? And
no.
Look at Bitcoin now. Look at people that bought it at the peak and look, they've lost everything, right?
Exactly.
It's like it's gotten cut in half.
Yeah. I mean, if you were if you were one of those really lucky people that maybe bought 100 Bitcoin, which cost you what back then? Like $50.
Right.
At some point.
Yeah.
And you just like, oh, whatever. I'll leave it for my kids.
Yeah.
And then like in the will, you see like you have 100 Bitcoin. You're like, what the? It's like, you know, I don't know. What's it even worth now? I don't know, but
I don't know, 25,000 or something.
Okay.
Still a lot, or 30,000. I don't know. We don't. It fluctuates, but like there's a really actually funny internet meme. Not really a meme. It's just like a screenshot of an old video game competition. I'm not sure when it was from. Like 2000s probably. And it was like first place $1,000, second place $500, third place $100, fourth place it was like 500 Bitcoin. Right, Bitcoin was worth like pennies back then.
That's amazing.
Right, it was like first when Bitcoin came out. So freaking crazy.
and there's no way that $1,000. Well, I guess maybe if that $1,000 was used to buy Bitcoin then.
But yeah, fourth place, you are like a multi-millionaire if you kept that and sold it.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. I mean, okay, so
this Springbank has opened up and it is getting to epic levels.
it's stunning. It's the fruitiness, the tropical fruit that I get out of this was unexpected, and it reminds me of the 2019 21-year-old, because it had like that lighter, like it wasn't as sherry influenced.
Yeah.
It had a little bit of rum influence, and it had that port influence, and it was just really sweet and fruity. That times 10 here, like it's amped up quite a bit. I really like that. And this is the thing, is like if this
nose is crazy on this.
If this is one of the best Springbanks of modern day in the last, let's say, 10 years released, then like aren't you happy that like multiple people got to try this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Because if it, let's say it is, let's say like for argument's sake, this is the best Springbank released in the last 10 years. If that was a 700 milliliter bottle, we would get less than 1,500 bottles of this. Less than 15. So let's say closer to 1,000 bottles. Call it 1,000 for argument's sake. 1,000 bottles of that to just Springbank Society members. How many people are opening that? Let's cut that in half. So the 500 bottles are being opened. How many people actually share it? Maybe another, let's say 5 to 10 guys tops per bottle gets to try that bottle that's opened.
Yeah.
Right? Probably less.
Yeah.
Right? So this way I think is the best way for these kind of releases, because what if it's the best whiskey ever? You know what I mean? What if it was and only 400 people got to try that whiskey?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like such an injustice.
You messaged me earlier and you said in 10 years we could sell our Springbank Society membership.
Yeah.
We could sell it now.
We could probably sell it now. It's like that. It's like the big name sports teams. Like, if you have Arsenal season tickets, or if you have Toronto Maple Leafs season tickets, or Manchester United, Barcelona, Milan.
Those get passed down family to generation to generation to generation, right?
Just the ownership of that membership is like
super valuable.
Stupid valuable. Some people would probably consider it like untouchable.
Yeah.
Like it would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to get that. Like, what's a society? Like, we don't know how many there are. We're talking about stadiums that house 80,000 people.
I mean, and currently Springbank has paused their membership, right? They're not taking any new people because they just can't get enough bottles out there.
Exactly. So hypothetically, let's say that there's 5,000 members globally. If there's only 5,000 members globally, and Springbank continues to grow at the rate that it's been growing, that membership alone is going to be worth stupid money. Yeah, it's invaluable because we're the only ones that can get this stuff. Right? It's like, and we have one each. Well, there was a couple that we did together. It was just the one. It was the SMWS, right? Membership.
Yes, we split the membership.
We split the membership on that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this is delicious.
I wonder if anyone sold their spot in the Springbank Society yet, and what did they get for it? And what would be... That's a good
What's
comment.
it worth to you guys?
In the comments down below, how much would you pay to get into the Springbank Society membership?
What would it take for you to sell yours?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. I couldn't. You cannot throw an amount of money. It would have to be stupid.
Yeah.
It would have to be stupid because
we're young, we're healthy.
Yeah.
We're drinking this for a long time.
I want this forever.
For a long time, right?
I don't know, man. What if Tristan really gets into Springbank? I'm gonna pass it down to him,
right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not gonna. He's gonna take over.
Yeah. 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 I mean, what did we pay to get into Springbank Society? $50?
Was it that much? Oh, 50 pounds. 50 pounds.
50 pounds.
50 pounds.
50 pounds, right?
And we got a shirt.
And a little glass.
A little glass. The mini glass.
Yeah.
Worth every single penny.
100%.
Worth every single penny.
Yeah.
I would pay 10 times that now.
What would you pay to get into Springbank Society right now? 1,000?
If I can guarantee that I'm gonna get 2 releases a year or whatever, yeah, at least $1,000. I'd probably pool my money with a bunch of guys and be like, here's 5 G's.
Yeah.
I want that spot.
Wow.
It makes sense though, right?
I mean, if they're putting out they have just been putting out great stuff.
They're always bangers. Have you had a bad one?
No.
They're always bangers. This is incredible. This is probably one of the this might be my I haven't reviewed it yet. This might be my whiskey of the year. Last year it was the 10-year-old.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance to review this last year.
And guys watching this right now that have been in Springbank Society from the very beginning are probably you guys haven't even tried any of this stuff previously either, right?
Right. Remember that 15-year-old port?
Yeah.
It was okay to start. It went bonkers halfway through.
I still got some of that.
That was phenomenal, right? And then they've had some good Hazelburn, some good long grows. Yeah, I would not sell that spot. I'm sorry, I could not. I'd buy another spot if I could. I'd buy another one from somebody willing,
Let's not get too greedy here.
Well, I know we have friends that would really appreciate a spot, so
Yeah, I got friends, me, myself, and I.
I guess we should try to mark these. Let's mark this for sure. Right? Because I know it's your first go.
The single barrel?
The single barrel. I have a review. If you haven't watched my review on this, it's somewhere in the archives. I reviewed it a long time ago. This was actually a bottle split, if I'm not mistaken. Or no. I think I gifted half of this bottle to my buddy Paulo. And then as a thank you, much later on, he let me finish it off. We had some the other night when we were supposed to watch the fights together. He came. UFC fights, if anybody's interested. And yeah, this is the last. There's an ounce left. We split.
It's really good.
Yeah. You finished that glass. So you should talk about it a little bit.
Well, this is a trend that's happening on our podcast. Is
You're crushing whiskey these days.
I can't help it because we just keep drinking so much good stuff.
We drink bangers on this channel.
We just drink so much good stuff, and I'm just like savoring stuff. I don't know. I'm drinking it quick.
I think what it tells me is that I'm talking too much. You're talking too little. You need to do some more talking. I need to do some less talking. Tell us about the Springbank 28-year-old.
So the Springbank 28. So this character of Springbank is something that I haven't experienced before. Like I said, I'm getting those like really sweet tea notes combined with tropical fruit, with orchard fruit. There's chocolate in there. It almost like gives me this kind of like port feel to it. Like I'm getting fruits I would get with port, like raspberries, stuff like that. The complexity, the nose is out of control amazing, which leads me to believe that this is going to open up and just be like, even the time it took me to drink that, which was quick, it opened up a lot. Like my last sip was crazy compared to the first one. I mean, that's why it's so hard to score, because you have to almost like score the potential, because this thing is just going to open up. It's going to get complex as hell.
I think so too. The nose, like you said, is bonkers. It's like raspberry fields. It's like distant smells of like my espresso machine as I'm walking by it in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like it's dunnage, like it's damp basement, but like in a different way than you would get it from other Springbanks.
In a sweeter way.
Yeah.
In a much sweeter way. There's like a mango tea. Like we used to like buy all these like specialty teas, and there was this one mango one. Like it was a black mango tea, and I'm getting that.
Yeah. Like it reminds me, we talked about David's Tea, which is a company that started in Canada that does like really weird blends with like lots of different like fruit aspects going on with their teas. Yeah. And it's like that. Yeah,
this could be a tea. This could, and you know what the craziest thing is like it doesn't drink hot in any way, shape, or form. Not. There's zero heat to this, so it literally could be a tea if warmed up. Like it could be.
Imagine.
David's Tea needs to get on that. Make a Springbank flavored tea.
There you go.
Non-alcoholic, I guess.
Yeah. Imagine you heated up some Springbank 28 and served someone thinking it was tea.
Oh man, that like almost
fall out of their chair getting it.
So, are you gonna score the potential mark on this, or should we revisit this in 6 months?
I mean, I think it's going to command a very big score. I just can't. I don't think I can accurately throw out a number. I mean, it's a very obvious low 90, but I mean, it could be a mid 90.
Yeah,
it could be mid 90.
I'm with you. I think it's easily a low 90. In a few months' time.
Yeah.
You know, we just got this travel, bottle shock, all that stuff in effect. It's still, you can tell there's still parts of it that are a little bit reserved. It's tight a little bit.
Yeah.
That's gonna change. You know that's gonna change.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I can confidently say that it will probably be at least a 93.
Yeah.
And like it's not there yet. But obviously I'm giving it some leeway, and I think we should revisit it. I think we should.
We've tried some Springbank 21s of recent year. We've tried some Springbank 25s of recent year. Those bottlings have been phenomenal.
Yep.
Very, very good. Mike and Ardbeg gave us an old Springbank 100 proof that was out of this world amazing as well.
Ridiculous.
This is fitting into where that is. Those things are.
Yeah,
right?
This is fitting into like our favorite 21s and that 100 proof.
Yeah.
And like this, and like I don't know. This is obviously much younger or whatever. I don't know if like it's even fair to throw it in the same category, but like for me, the 10 of what was it? 2019? Or was it 2020?
The 10-year-old?
The really dark 10-year-old. the local barley.
Oh.
Anyway, that one.
20.
20. That 10-year-old, the 2019 21-year-old, the 2019 25-year-old, the 2020 21-year-old, all ridiculous.
The 2019 25-year-old was our favorite, right? Or was it 20?
The 21. So you and I.
No, sorry. The 25-year-old Springbank, the best year that we've tried was 2019.
The 2019.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So like that is like up there as far as like the highest I've scored a Springbank, I think.
Yeah.
And like this is better than that.
Probably. It probably is. It's one of those things where I wish we can go back. And our marks have it's been harder to give higher marks. So maybe the marks we gave back then would be a little lower
like
now.
I think I went like 92, maybe 93 on that.
Yeah, probably.
Right?
Yeah. I went high on the 2019-21. That was my favorite of all the ones we just mentioned.
That was great.
That one I loved.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. It's not even fair to really give it a score yet, and I do feel bad for all those that are not society release members because, you know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean,
the fact that they're not taking on anybody else sucks.
I had the worst timing ever because I released a video about Springbank Society just as they paused.
As they close shop.
Just as they paused. Like I think I recorded it, and then they paused it. And they paused it before I actually could release the video. Whatever. I'm like, how to get in the Springbank Society? You can't. Sorry.
Psych. That should have been an April Fool's one.
Yeah. I think that's when I reviewed that bottle.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is right now a privilege to be part of it.
What other distillery would you like to see do like a society thing where it's like they just do special like single casks or like small batches for members? I mean, Ardbeg kind of does it, although they don't. Like, what's up with Ardbeg? Like the committee releases, it's just on the shelf.
You know,
to anyone. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't get what that's about.
Ardbeg, it was free, so I guess we can't really complain. Like it was free to become a member of Ardbeg.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the committee release is supposed to be for members only.
Right.
That was the whole point of it.
Yeah, but people are buying it. Like, I mean, they're just buying it on the shelf.
Yeah. Ardbeg, I think, screwed themselves with the committee release because now nobody's drinking them. They're just buying them and flipping them.
Yeah.
It's become...
Because the whiskey's not even that good.
No, it's never good.
It's not touching the core range.
No.
So why are you even like spending the money on it?
The last one I actually opened was the black or whatever that.
Black.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the committee release black.
Right.
And it was
like
good.
That?
It was okay. It was good. Like
right.
It wasn't.
It was okay. Yeah.
But it was like the secondary was commanding like $500 for that. I was like, obviously it's not $500 good, but I opened it because like you have relationships with people that are selling you these bottles. You can't be that guy. You know what I mean? But
have you tried the fermentation?
I haven't.
Someone told me it was decent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like honestly, I don't think they've released a good special release since the Dark Cove, and even that one, I didn't score it that high. Not as high as other people were scoring it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I thought that one could compete with my favorite stuff from their core range. But I don't know, man. All these other ones, like the drum.
It's sad what's happened to Ardbeg.
Whatever, like this new like punk rock one. You seen this?
Yeah.
What's that about?
I have no interest. Like I have zero interest in following what they're doing or caring what they're doing. I like the 5. I like the 10. That's where I'm at with them. Like that's it. Like and the 19 is good, but I'm not spending all the money it takes to get it. Yeah. So that's it. Like I'm pausing at the 10.
I mean, I was like a big Koi Reckon fan, and I've heard that the quality on even those is slipping a little bit too. I know the quality slipped on the Ugadel because I've had an older Ugadel, and the newer one I tried is just nowhere close.
No. Nowhere close. No.
So yeah, I mean,
Ardbeg wouldn't be the one that I would choose. I think if we're talking Scotch, I'm thinking probably Glenallachie, I guess. Like I don't know. Like I think Glenallachie is going to be in trouble if they keep on releasing as many releases as they have.
Right.
Right? Like, they're pumping out too much. It's way too hard to keep up with what they're doing.
Yeah.
Their core range is delicious. Like, the 12 is amazing. The 15 is amazing. The 18 is amazing. We tried the 25, which was very good.
Yeah.
It's hard to get. The 21 and the 30 are next to impossible to get. So like maybe like a society release for them to get like those cask strength 21s and 30s, so it doesn't just go out into open market and become a secondary thing.
Highland Park kind of did a little bit of that with their single barrel releases, right? They kind of had these like little one-off things.
Highland Park used to be
but
one of my favorite distilleries, and that has plummeted so far down the list.
Is this an Edgerton thing?
I don't know what's. It must be. It must be that, because
they're just stretching stuff out, right? They're just stretching it out.
Like, can you honestly say that for you as a whiskey reviewer, Highland Park has been relevant to you in the last year or two?
I can't remember the last Highland Park I purchased.
Exactly.
Or even got excited about.
Right. I purchased that 15, tried it. Okay, this is decent. I let my buddy borrow it. I'll get it back and review it eventually. But I have no like desire or urge to review them.
They went insane with this Viking thing.
Yeah.
Everything was a freaking Viking. Like every box was like a freaking Viking ship. I'm just like, you guys have just gone too much. When marketing takes over your company and it's more about that than it is the whiskey, it's just like people lose interest. And
I find it's such a tragedy when like you look at the raw bones of that company and the people that run it, like the people that work at that distillery are probably like the exact type of people you want to run a distillery, you know? Mm-hmm. But what marketing has done to Highland Park has made it not interesting at all. Like, I'm not interested at all as a whiskey like fan.
Yeah.
Like, they're trying to maybe get non-whiskey buyers to buy into their stuff, and it's not working because they don't have the profile.
Right.
They don't have the style of whiskey that caters to those like suits that they want to buy their whiskey.
Yeah.
They don't have it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I guess they did the cask strength release. We were excited about that. They did it NAS, which was maybe a misfire.
Yeah.
And it drank, in a lot of people's opinion, a little hot.
It was crazy hot. It was crazy hot.
For some reason, I didn't think it was hot.
Which is weird, because there's things that I find like fine that you find hot. Like, I think it depends where you're more sensitive on your palate, but for me, it was crazy hot. I didn't even buy the second batch.
No.
I had no interest. Like, you're like, okay, here's Highland Park with a new series, and you can still go out and buy the second batch.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cared.
Yeah.
Once one came out, a lot of people collected it just in case this like blows up, but it won't.
Yeah.
It probably won't.
Macallan could do a society thing. I guess they kind of do it. They just price people out of the market, so only some people can buy their stuff.
I haven't even had a chance to actually buy one of their like single casks. Like, have you ever had a chance to buy one of their bottles?
Like the exceptional cask?
Yeah. No. Like, actually, sorry, I lied. I had one chance. It was a 21-year-old. They wanted $6,000 for it. $6,000 for a 21-year-old.
I thought there was one of those exceptional casks. It was like an 18-year-old that was like reasonably priced, like $600 or $800 or something.
That was a 12. It was a 12. It came to the LCBO. They had one case.
Yeah.
And it never
hit the shelf.
Never was released.
Yeah, of course.
Because the LCBO went to like a Christmas party and handed it out to their like executives, and then that was it. Done. Wait a couple months, and then you can sell this for 10 times the retail price at $600.
Right.
For a 12-year-old single cask.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's no way that liquid is better than this.
Yeah. For
a fraction of the price. You know, so. But we digress, and whenever whenever Macallan and Highland Park are mentioned, I get heated these days. That's not good.
And you used to be the biggest fan of both.
I used to be a huge fan of Highland Park and a very big fan of Macallan.
Yeah.
And they just so disappointing.
Yeah. My love affair with Macallan ended soon after I started drinking whiskey.
soon after they flipped to bottling dates as opposed to vintages.
That's true,
right?
actually. Yeah.
That's pretty much bang on when
Yeah.
I got disinterested in that.
I was buying whiskey in the U.S. I was paying $60 to $70 US for the 12-year-old, which I thought was a
phenomenal.
great bottle during that time.
Yep.
I was paying $200 US for the 18, which was expensive as hell for me at the time. But I thought that whiskey was justified in that price because it was really great.
Pretty much every time I would go to the States, or a family member would go to the States, they would come back with a bottle of Macallan 18.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing, right?
Yeah.
So I had like the 94, the 95, the 96, 97.
Yep, I started buying at 95, 96, and I had a bunch of the 97s, and then that was it.
That was it.
And I haven't bought a Macallan 18 since then.
And I never will again because I'm not paying $500+
Yeah, why is it so
for
much
an
money
18-year-old that's
and it
trash now.
Commands secondary market price too,
Which is absurd.
for a bottle that you can get on the shelf.
It's because there's still a big portion of people that have no idea what they're purchasing, and they think and they're buying for value, and they think that that's where the value is.
Yeah. Right? They look at these little bottle performance charts, and they're like, "Oh my God, look at the trend! It's going way up. We need to buy it."
Yeah.
Well, we'll see where some of those bottles go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We didn't get into what's happening on Whiskey Tube, but I feel like we're like over an hour. We were rambling a lot about this. We ranted. We that was a full rant.
We'll save it for another time. But yeah, I mean, I like that lots of people get to try the whiskey. I feel like maybe we're getting charged a little bit more per milliliter with the smaller bottles.
Yep.
Ish. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they did this one because they obviously knew that this was a great bottling,
I think so.
and they wanted to give it to everyone, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Even though it was expensive.
It was expensive, but it allows somebody that's like their cap is like $250.
Right.
Like I'm not spending more than $250 on a whiskey. Anybody that thinks that way and lower had a chance to try a 28-year-old, which they probably wouldn't have tried otherwise, right? So
Yeah, I mean, this is the oldest Springbank we've ever tried,
exactly. Yeah,
and
we've tried a lot.
Yeah.
We've tried a lot of Springbank.
an official bottling around this age, like what's the Springbank 30 go for?
I'm very curious. It's gonna be $3,000. I think it has to be.
Let's just find out.
I really want that bottle, but I'm not shelling out $3,000. I can't do it. There's no way. I'm not taking from my kids' university fund. What am I gonna do?
So Springbank 30 newest release. It just hit the auction in July.
Beautiful bottle.
2,800 British pounds.
Wow. Oh my god.
That's the auction price. I don't even know what it is retail.
Retail, it's got to be 2,000 British pounds.
No.
You don't think so? Maybe less.
The auction price is 2,800.
Okay, so call it 1,500.
No.
You think less?
Yeah.
So you think it's gonna be $2,000?
Let's do a master of malt out of that.
I don't know. My feeling is it's at least $2,000 Canadian. At least. That's I think 2,500.
No. What is the retail price of a Springbank 30? What is the retail price?
That's what I'm thinking.
That's not the retail price. How is that the retail price?
Because the 25-year-old now is $1,000 Canadian. Retail.
How much?
It's $1,000 now.
25.
We were buying it for 600. Not that long ago. Pre-COVID.
I think the retail price for the Springbank 30 was 900 pounds.
Okay, so that's almost $2,000 though.
Yeah.
$1,800. Call it $1,700.
But now you're getting the auction price as,
That's a high jump though. So quickly. You said 3,000 pounds.
Yeah.
That's $6,000 almost.
I know.
But the
Are you
Springbank.
buying? Are you buying Springbank 30 at retail?
Not if it's anywhere near.
You have to buy it.
How am I gonna buy it? Okay, if we do a 3-bottle
We'll go 3 or 4 ways.
3 or 4 way split on a what's your max? What's your max on a 3 or 4 let's say 4-person split? What's your max?
500, I guess.
A person.
Yeah.
So $2,000.
So if it's 2,000,
It's not gonna be 2K.
You think it's going to be more?
It's gonna be more than 2K.
But I thought it was 900 British pounds. That's like 2K.
If it was 900 British pounds and it ends up being around 2K Canadian, 100% I will split that bottle with you. Just us two. And maybe like allow like close friends to try it. Because we're never gonna get this opportunity again. It's never gonna, I guarantee you they're not gonna do this bottling for another 5 at least. When's the last time they did a Springbank 30-year-old release?
Well, I mean, they did local barleys way back in the day that were, I think, around that age.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, in the last 10 years, has there been a standard release?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
So that's what, like, and I know there has been because, like I said, an embarrassing, like, display of ignorance on my part was when I did that unicorn video, like unicorn whiskeys that I want to try, and I put like Springbank 35-year-old on there, thinking that was like, you know, something that they would be revisiting again, and it hasn't happened since. Right. So, yeah, I don't. And 1,400 bottles. The fact that it's 100 bottles more than the 25 tells me that they're not doing this again for a long time. At least 5 years.
Yeah. Do you think it's on par with this 28?
The ABV's lower.
Yeah. It's way more money.
It's a lot more money, and that's another like great point, right? Like the 25-year-old, if you convert this into a 700 milliliter bottle, it's still less price than the new 25-year-old.
Right.
Which is, I think, crazy because there's no way that the 25-year-old is better than that. We've never had a 25-year-old better than that. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's close, but no, I don't think so.
Like, the one that Jasper and I split, the 25-year-old of 2020, was such a disappointment for me.
Yeah.
And not that it was a bad whiskey, but it's like you're spending
expensive.
Like $900 Canadian.
Expensive.
It was like $900.
Expensive.
$450 each.
Yeah.
You know? Well, I think we should wrap it up.
Okay. Leave us a comment down below. Is there a distillery out there that you would rather see them do half-size bottles or smaller bottles so they could reach more people and potentially get a bottle yourself? Like, there's something that you can't get. Let us know in the comments down below.
What would be your ideal society release company?
Yeah.
Distillery.
Right.
Other than Springbank.
Right.
Because hopefully they resume again and then more people can join, but they technically already have it.
Yeah.
So other than Springbank, who would be your society release company?
And half bottles.
You think Kilkerran's there yet? That they need their own society company? Society group?
I don't know.
I would sign up.
I would sign up too.
I would sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's the one. Maybe Kilkerran would be the next one for me because
I'm just thinking of something that like has like a lot of stock that could like pull some casks that would make like a really unique, interesting thing that they wouldn't be able to do like as a bigger release.
I'm gonna go way out. You're never gonna guess who I'm gonna say right now.
Bowmore?
Crown Royal.
No, I never would have guessed that.
Honestly,
that's actually a good call.
I guarantee you, Crown. They have a stupid amount of stock. I guarantee you, they could pull out some society like bottlings that would be mind blowing.
Yeah.
And much needed, like to show what they can do. I've had some like higher ABV Crown Royal, and like it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I've had a barrel pull from Crown Royal. Sorry, that was Canadian Club.
Club.
They could probably do it too.
Yeah.
But I think Crown Royal could really pull it off.
What do you think the oldest Crown Royal cask is in their warehouse?
I honestly don't think they even know. I honestly don't think they even know because there's got to be so much stock in that. Like,
I feel like they don't even keep whiskey over 18 years old.
I wonder.
I don't feel like there's any 20-year-old whiskey in that entire warehouse, and they have millions of barrels.
I would like to see Alberta Premium do it too.
Yeah.
I know we were talking Scotch, but I think those two would be great examples of like what you can get some quality stuff out of them.
Yeah.
Think about like an 18-year-old Alberta Premium 100% rye. How good that would be. cask strength.
I feel like Crown Royal is just like, oh my god, this whiskey is getting too old and too good. We better get rid of it immediately.
Put it in.
Pour it in a blend.
Pour it into something nobody ever is gonna drink.
It's like, quickly, water this down to 40% immediately.
We have a reputation to uphold. Oh yeah. All right.
Crown Royal.
Yep.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. If you want to support this podcast, check out our Patreon. You can sign up for $1 and get it sooner than anyone else.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.